Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to compare tunes for similarity. Lately, we've been working on making them play as sound, and we've done a fair bit, but one thing we haven't dealt with yet is that we need a way to stop the player when it's done, and it doesn't directly, it just keeps running even though it's got no notes to play. So we need to make sure it stops. We've done the first part, which is put an event on the end of our list so we get a trigger and we have a callback, but we need to make the callback do the work. All right. So let's go over here. So stop the player when the tune finishes. All right, we've got the sound player. Let's find that callback. Okay, here's that extra note. It's a stop. And somewhere, there's the callback. Okay. We actually don't need that in the method. So one of the things that the fact is this library is based on C style and it can't handle callbacks with inside objects. So we don't need it for what we need to do. So let's not worry about it. Okay. So this callback, let's call it stop track. Stop playing callback. Maybe it's just callback is okay. It's the only one. All right. So I think let's make sure tests are going. This low-level code with C-based library we're not testing because it doesn't really give us a lot of visibility or observability. But our test shouldn't break even so. Okay, and all we're doing is printing the time of the callback. So let's run it. Put a little volume on so you can hear the thing playing. All right, this little sample data. Here's our sound. Let's crank up our speed so we don't have to wait too long. All right, but in the background here, when it finishes, we should see the callback with the event time. Okay, so time 40.5. That's some sort of beats measure, I guess. So it's probably 10 measures or something like that. All right. Now, the thing we have to do is we want to make sure, what we want to do is call stop on the player when it's done. So normally we call stop if somebody switches, if they call play again, and maybe it's on a new tune, we stop the existing player, dispose of it, and then create a new one. The other place we use stop is we have a stop method, so you can click this button and it stops. Okay, but what you can't see is after you hit play, it doesn't really stop. It starts off in a separate thread and it just keeps running forever, even after it runs out of notes. And so we want to do this same kind of thing here. All right, now music player. The problem is we can't, with this callback, which is, it's got C conventions, we can't really access the variables of our class. So what we need to do is what an example we found does. Yeah. So the problem is we can't really access it directly. So what they do is they basically cast it's as dangerous and ugly as it looks. They do an unsafe bit cast of the object into a pointer, okay? Or they turn it into a void pointer and then cast it with an unsafe bit cast. and that puts the value injects it into the user data. So you're allowed to attach a little data to your callback. It takes the address of this object as the callback, and then inside the callback, that's this code. The first thing they do is recover the client by casting it back to myClass.self. Okay, so we're going to do the same kind of thing, and notice it's the first argument on. I'm sorry, it's an argument on the set callback. So we pass in the sequence, the callback function, the data, and then we're recovering the first argument is the client data, and that's that pointer. All right, now in our case, we don't really need the object. We just need the player. So I'm going to pass the player in on our callback call. Okay, so we got the sequence, we got the callback, and now we're going to do the equivalent of what they did. My goodness. But that's this. Now, I don't know if there may be a simpler syntax, but okay, cast self. All right, I don't need to. Oh, let's see. Replace with. Okay. Yeah, I thought it would be a little simpler. All right. From the given typed pointer. Okay, I don't want self here, so let's see if we can pass music player. I'm not sure why it's there twice. Maybe this is more like the type. All right, so let's cast music player. And then music player. Let's hope that does it. All right, so now this is the in player. Okay, and we can, let's see if we can find anything on it to call. Get play rate scalar. I mean, I guess that gives us something. Well, let's just print the let's just print this. See what we get. Okay, so again, we're passing the player in with this unsafe cast. Oh, he doesn't like that. Has no member. Yet he showed it to me. Unsafe mutable raw pointer dot stride pointee. Well, maybe we need to figure this thing out. All right. Oh, it is the type. Okay, must have the same size. Unsafe bit cast TUX of type T to type U of type U dot type. Okay, so music player. Oh, what's the problem here? Yeah. Sure. Okay, but this is more serious. Unsafe raw pointer. Well, let's try self. Okay. All right. Well, let's run. So we're not doing anything with it. Doesn't. Oh, I'm not going to worry about that. Let's go ABC. Sound. And so we expect a printout at the end. Okay. Okay, we got some sort of address and an event time. Okay, so now we're going to do the same kind of action he does. Cast this pointer back to my music class. Okay, so let's say bit cast of in player to music player dot self. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And this should have the right type now. Yeah. Okay. I don't think that's going to change anything. This type is still going to be that. But I think, well, this is the moment of truth, right? Let's just ignore it. We can't really do anything if the stop doesn't stop. So, music player stop. And the player is music player. Okay. We'll put this before the actual stop, so it doesn't. Okay. And then I'll put another one. Okay. And number 3 is the shortest. All right. And we'll play it as fast as we can. Uh-oh. Stop. Why would that not do that? I'm gonna add another beat to it. I don't know if there's an overlap and it's on that last event still playing. I mean, it had the value that we had before, so that seems reasonable. The event time is okay and stopped. So I don't think these are helping us much. Let's keep the stopped. Okay. Now, what was weird to me, I think this is what it's going to have to be, so we'll just clean up the line. Okay. What's weird to me, like our stop just worked. So I don't know. Okay. Let's do it again. Argument brackets. Oh, I suppose. This one, let's. Okay, that doesn't affect what we just did. And crashed. Bad access. Wow. Why is that a problem? I don't know if. Boy. Why would that be a problem? Player stopped. Why would he crash there? Okay, I'm going to make this a lot bigger. I'm trying to rule out that it's because it's kind of still playing a note. I don't know. It's interesting to me that the sound keeps going even when it's crashed. So it's some sort of external system, maybe even to it. Who knows how that's implemented? All right. That's, well, that's a way excessive value if this is really the problem. But we're going to get sick of that song, aren't we? I'm thinking about ways to make the action a little quicker on this too. Okay, ruin high speed. Five, six, seven, eight. Oh, and crashed in the same place. Notice the sound did stop first though. Copy current event. Which thread are we in? Get copy current event. Schedule. Audio unit render. I completely don't get it. We've never seen any of this kind of problem. Let's see, I'm frozen here. We've never seen this problem when we hit stop, and we're consistently seeing it with this stop we're doing in the callback. So maybe, track iterator, get copy current event. Maybe, okay. What I'm wondering is if stopping it while it's still in the callback is possibly causing the problem. Let's invoke a different function. There was one about speed. We can get that scalar, and that's determined by the player. So let's try this thing. Okay, so I think what we would do is we'll have to make a variable var speed equals speed of float equals 0.0. Was that the right type? Float 64. Okay. Which I think is double, but that's okay. We got the music player. Let's do let status equal music player get scalar player with music player and address of speed. Okay, we'll stop the stop and we'll print get speed status and the speed. Okay. So what are we going to see at the end? It's going to be 20 beats later, speed status, and no crash. Okay, so it is something about stopping it while it's in the middle. Okay. Well, the other... So... I don't know. I don't have access to the source of this thing, I don't think, so I can't really judge. Even if I did, I probably might not be able to figure it out because it's multi-threaded and all that. But what it appears to be is we're doing a stop while it's doing its callback, and maybe that's the problem. I'm thinking I don't like what's the right way to do this. I don't really know, but what I'm thinking is like maybe we should be in queue this action and let the callback return and all that stuff. Is it dispatch queue dot main dot async? Optionally associated with dispatch group we don't care about. Execute. Okay. And let's try this inside there. I'm going to leave this here just to let us demonstrate it, but in the long run, we'll get rid of it. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, we got 20 beats before it gets there. Stopped. Okay. Now let's peel this off. I'm going to give it 2 beats. That should let anything that's going go. I'm going to take this stuff out, keep the music player, get rid of this, get rid of this and this. Oh, the visibility is so tough. It's a whole little weird to me that they've. I don't know why you have to do this. I may be misinterpreting something, but I'm pretty sure I saw on somewhere. Now, I gotta say, I don't know where it would have. No, it wouldn't be that. I don't know. I may be solving a problem that doesn't exist, but I could swear somewhere in this ragged documentation I saw something that said that a track doesn't stop by itself. You have to stop it. But I don't see it now. So, all right. I think this should do it, though. Okay. Let's run. We'll do a couple simple ones and then see if we can trick it. Okay, we'll start with our usual. With this. Okay. A couple of beats. All right, let's do it again. I'm going to switch. Okay. No complaints over here about that. All right, so I think we've done what we need to. So added a callback to ensure music player is stopped after its last sounding event. Okay. Had to put on main queue to avoid stopping the player while the callback was active. Okay. Well, I mean, I used to work in assembly language sometimes, and this is painful, but better than that. Okay. Now, I had one last thing I wanted to do. Let's see, this is the 21st. Okay, this is sound. So was that. Okay, stop the player and finish this. The other thing I wanted to do was I'd like to make this control active while it's playing. Because if you start at a relatively slow pace and you realize that's a little slow, you'd like to bump it up, but it's not bumping. Okay, it doesn't come into effect until you actually hit play. All right. I don't know if it's doable. There is, we just called get play rate. Okay. There's also a set play rate, and it doesn't tell you if you can change it during while it's running. Okay. I mean, I suspect you can, but it doesn't tell us. Okay. So what I'd like to do is ask the player, I want to adjust speed. Okay. I don't have an event like that or a method like that, but basically I want to do this, and yeah, I want to do that while it's in the middle, I think. Okay, and then where that's happening, let's find the view, sound view. Okay, the slider for BPM changes, but we don't respond to it. We just look at it in the sound stage. Okay, so play passes down BPM. Let's see, I don't see where that's made. Where's sound view? Oh, I lost it. I kind of hate that. I wish there was a default I could turn off for that. All right, so sound view, where's the play button? Button action stage.play, we pass in the BPM. But I would like to say if the slider changes, let's do on change of BPM, do something. Well, and what we'll do is, there have to be, okay, new value in, okay. Well, I'll just use $0. I'm going to call stage dot set speed $0. Okay. And well, what do I know? Call binding of non-function by binding a subject. Okay, I do need $1. Wait. What do I need? Stage there. Stage.play. I don't think I need $1. Cannot call value of non-function type, but binding of subject. Okay. I don't know if I have to put $1 on the BPM. No. And it says or a binding, so the binding is BPM in our case. No, referencing subscript observed object down. That state is what I'm monitoring. Oh, I don't have a function for it. Maybe that's the whole problem. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Now, the only thing is it adds a lot of, I don't know, I feel like it's going to have a lot of values coming through. A lot of overhead there, but well, let's do this one. Right? Okay, and we got to back up to 360. Okay. Well, let's do sound player now. Sound player needs one too. Let's call set speed BPM double. I don't know if we need sound state anymore, but regardless. Oh, let me do this differently. Okay, let's extract that as a method and hopefully state. Oops. Okay, set speed. Oh, how awful. Okay, let's sound state. Let's return this. I'm gonna let it go. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should return sound state. Okay, and then move this up. Okay, so capture the state. Okay, and if it's not that, let's just return playing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if we really need these states. Okay, but here, if speed state. Okay, I think that's going to do what this used to do. Sets the speed, calls the player. If it has a status, it's returning an error, which we will return as speed state, which will be error. And then Otherwise, it returns playing. Okay, so I think that is the same, but now we want to make this public function. All right, and call it from sound stage. Okay, this whole thing may blow up. Can I find sound player? It's just player. I thought I left that in. No, okay. I kind of like it. We got enough trouble making sure we have doubles interpreted correctly and so on. Extraneous label BPM, no space method. Okay. Don't add a space between the method name and the parentheses. Result of call is unused. Okay. That's why I'm skeptical we need sound state. I think we're not doing much with it. I guess we are there. Okay. I guess we should do the same kind of thing. Okay, now the state should be active. We'll start slow, fast, and then slow it down. Oh, I like it. Cool. All right. I don't see any good. I don't know. I'm worried the balance between these things is just not right. Okay. Well, we do use the sound state. Okay. We do publish, so we need foundation. Let's get to the sound player. I'm just taking a quick tour here. One thing I thought of doing was maybe we should split out this 2-note stuff. I just don't know. I think we'll let it be. I'm worried I'm just atomizing stuff a bit too much, but this could clearly grow. I mean, if I were going to fully wrap everything, right, I would definitely grow this and split this out and let you define your stuff in these terms and not the crazy stuff that the C interface does, but I'm not going to fight that off. Okay, so make speed adjustable while tune is playing back. I like it. All right. Feels good. All right. Stop that. All right, where we are, dynamic speed control. Okay. This is really can adjust playback speed during playback. Okay, this next line is just helpful information about sound. Maybe it's a note. Okay. And we're ready to move on. All right. The next thing I want to do, I think I'm at a point where I've got the basic features I want. I have more analyses to add, but I think we've demonstrated the core stuff. I mean, the person I'm working with can use this, take a bunch of songs in and analyze them, get the Parsons Code report, get the other reports, and see things. But the fact is we don't handle everything that's in that input file now. And so I'd like to go back and refine each of these things. And the one that strikes me as the sort of easiest to warm up on is this Parsons Code graph. Right now we do this kind of, I don't know, clever but ugly text graph that draws the shape of a song, the shape of the melody. And I guess I can run it and show all these things. Okay, so the Parsons Code, we'll just do the small one. Okay, we do this text-based graph of these. And I don't know, this could be better too, but well, yeah. So what happens is this whole thing is one big text, one big output text. Okay, but the fact is that they really don't need to be. Okay, I think what I can do, I should be able to just make this be a list instead of a big long text string in a box. Okay, notice the double scrolling, so even that's a little weird. I think if I made this a list and put each one of these, then it would look nicer. And then the second thing is, I would like to use the graph stuff. SwiftUI has a nice graphing package introduced in the last year or two, and I didn't use it because it's like, oh, I don't know, you know. Instead, I went down this path of this crazy text-based one. You know, what's the character for overbar? You know, kind of thing. But the reality is, this is very simple. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1. You know, it's just going back up and down on the values. And that's exactly the input we need for a graph. So I did a little playing around. I've still got our MIDI stuff in there, but this will draw a graph as well. And I just grabbed one of the examples from one of the Apple demos. Okay, so yeah, it's here's the structure. So he's defining a structure that's the hours of sunshine in a month, and you put the date and the hours of sunshine. So you got these readings. He basically converts it from a month and hours, you know, converts it into a calendar date and all that stuff. That means it's a time-based graph, which has some meaning to the graph package. Then he created an array that's just the list of all the data samples. Okay, so you can see month 1 is 0, month 2 is 7, minus 2, doesn't really make sense. And 0, I just put some minuses in because we have minuses. But that's the definition of the data. And then the actual drawing is quite simple. I don't know why I didn't pursue it before, honestly, because it's really very straightforward. The simplest form is you just say chart with your data, and some identifier, or else it's identifiable. And then you could put line mark in that draws these lines and adds all the axes and all that stuff. And then I put some extra fancy stuff in that says, hey, if it's the first one, if the date is 1, draw an asterisk. And if it's not, then just draw a point there. I don't even think I need the point marks. I think I could take this off and be more the way I want. I don't even think I have to do that in the for each. Okay, right? Because our graphs, they start with a point and then go on from there. Just the conventions for Parsons Code graphs. So I think this would look quite sharp in here. And it seemed easy enough to do, from a data point of view. We can easily create this data that's, position 0 through n, and the value is going up by 1 or plus or minus 1 at each point. So it's kind of a reducing thing. I don't think there's a way to take the derivatives and do it, but that's what we have. It's kind of sort of a derivative, the slope of something. Is it going up, going across, or going down? Okay, and I think that would be cool. All right. Now, the other thing I want to do is we have filtering, and it's kind of for both of them. But right now we can filter on the name. I forget what we can filter on. Let's go see. I know it's the title, the ID, the parts, A, B, C, D, and so on. This one's boring. Time signatures. That's a little more interesting. And then in statistics, we can see what are the values for these same fields. Okay, 244s and 168. All right. In this one, I'd like to put this in more of a table to look a little nicer. And I want to make sure I handle all the descriptors that are out there. Okay, I guess I'll move that above the filter. Other metadata, let's just say, no colon. All right, so we do time signature, I guess, is that meter? We do that one. We do title. We don't do the title that's a list of strings, but we don't do much else. Okay. We just have 4 or 5 fields we can choose, single title or a list of all titles. These are all pretty low-hanging fruit. BCD, I don't even know what they all mean, but well, I know O is origin, that's different. Okay, but these ones that are string, they're just simple values like this one. We can easily get those. The one of them, I don't see it, but there's key signature, I think, which is K. But you might have something that's in the key of D, or you might have something that's in, say, E flat. And that affects the filtering because we want to make it easy so somebody doesn't have to type, I don't know, a flat character is hard to find, right? And a sharp, everybody's going to hit #3, but the sharp actually is tipped a little differently. So I don't know if we can see that. Where would that be? Where would we see an example? Well, I don't think we have any data that would do it because most of these tunes are not in keys that do that. But at any rate, if somebody types the key is, I'm looking for things in the key of C sharp. We don't have key here, but if we did, I would want to accept the sharp key they type in on the 3 key as the same as the actual musical sharp symbol that's, some weird Unicode character. And so the filter should be smart enough to do that. And it should also be picking up these other metadata things. Now, this is all descriptor based. So like once I once I define them to come in, where do they come in and where do they go, there's a field that has the list of fields, and it knows this is a simple string, just copy it, and so on. So we'd like to deal with those, filtering on them, and then putting them in statistics. And then down here, statistics, it says hierarchical data. Well, some of these things are hierarchical. So the origin of the tune, you can say it's United States, Nebraska, Omaha, okay? And that would be 3 parts. And you might have other things there, United States, Nebraska, Bellevue, and Nebraska, Lincoln, and whatever else. You might have other states, but you'd be able to kind of, you'd like to see a tree grouping of those. And then we also have multi-entry ones, like the titles. They can be a list of titles, and we distinguish the main title from the list of titles, but we'd like to be able to look at all those titles. So for title, we kind of want to get a sense. Let's open up the big one. And okay, there's time signatures. There's a little more there, but titles, okay. There are a few duplicates, Air 7 no scaling, variations on no scaling, okay. But I don't think, we don't have a lot. Okay, so titles, we picked up a little different. Someone listed that with a semicolon. That's probably not quite kosher, but if you had multiple titles listed for one item, then we would want to see all of them. So we might say, oh, there's 47 no scalins, but most of them are called something else, primary name, but they recognized it was no scalin. Okay, so that would be moderately interesting, I guess. Okay, so well, I guess to a person really with a musicologist hat on, it might be a little more interesting, but it's not hard for us to break those out, but we just haven't. Okay, so that's the big one there. And then the last one that's sort of in the lane of things we've been doing, it would be nice to say, hey, either Quantizer or some other tool, limit the number of measures. I want to play the first 16 measures. I don't want to play all 47 measures of my song. It just takes too long. Not interesting enough. All right, so where we're going to start is the Parsons Code with the graph. And let's close these others. Oh, I guess I wanted to-do to be here still. To-do. I don't want to lose that one. All right. So that, let's open up some things for that. Parsons. All right. So we got the view and the stage. Views the UI, stage is the sort of business model of it, and then it calls Parsons Code report to do the work. Okay, I want to break this a bit. So right now it just throws everything in output, but our view knows it's dealing with a Parsons stage. So we have flexibility. We can change that. All right. And so I want to turn it into a list of somethings. And the somethings are the stuff that's in the report. We actually accumulate a big report with everything in it, but I want to just capture one at a time and put them in a structure. And then that structure is going to have all the data values so we can do the graph thing. Okay, so, yeah, let's bring it back up. So we got to have the data that gets us this graph. And I don't think that's going to be too hard, but it's kind of tearing everything apart a bit. The view modestly, yeah, we got a Parsons result. Okay, let's get that up to, where is that? Is that in here? Parsons result. Where are you living? You should be up here with the others. Move it up there. Okay. Make sure all the tests are happy. They're not. Oh, and sound player stuff. Okay, let's see what we did. $61 0, $62 22. Oh, we changed our stop. Yeah. 5 is, it's no longer that. It's bigger. Should be 7. Yeah. Okay, we added 2 beats. Okay. And this is probably 10. There it is. Okay. Well, teach me not to run tests. Okay, but it also accepted our rename. Figure and move Parsons result up with rest of Parsons files. Okay, well, we're due for a break. We've been going a while, so we'll take a 3 or 4 minute break and come back and tackle the Parsons Code stuff. See you in a couple minutes. Hey, welcome back. All right, so we're going to tackle this Parsons Code stuff. And I would say our focus is the results area. So it's got access to the whole stage. Oops, where did it? Sorry, result has access to the whole stage, so we can put whatever we want in there. Right now, it just puts the text of the output. All right, so that's and monospaced. The reason it's monospaced is because it's using those graphic characters, you know, and if you don't be monospaced, the widths will all vary and it'll look funny. So that's all that's going on there. We've got a title. Okay. And I don't know that we need the separate scroll reader. Well, okay, the reason we do is when it finishes writing the output, it scrolls to that point. Okay. So, yeah, we're kind of, we don't know. We may be able to work around that at some point, but that's what's going on now. All right, now the stage, he's got the metadata. All right. So the report is the metadata, which is that first line or one or more lines. That text could just be text. So let's make that happen. So let's pull the metadata out specifically. I don't think sync is going to define anything. It defines message and title. Okay. And we don't have to use those. All right. So let's pull out metadata. This is I guess it's published metadata of published public var metadata of type string. Okay. And we will capture it here. start empty. Okay, and let's find somebody making an assertion about stages. And we want to assert that the metadata is this coming from the packet. All right, so Parsons stage tests. All right, compute output. Well, metadata and output. So let's make an assert on the metadata. Stage.metadata should be this. Just that. Okay, and this test should fail. Okay. Did you really run? No. I tell you, Xcode some days. Thank you. All right, came back blank, right? Yep. Okay. Let's store the metadata. So we're converting metadata that's in the packet. It's an array of strings. We're going to convert it into a longer string. Okay, and this then becomes metadata. Okay, and that should make our, whoops, should make our test pass. Okay, and then I would like to display that in the view. So Parsons result. All right, so here we're displaying the stage output. I would like to display the metadata. And actually, that could just be here. Metadata, and we'll just leave it with the ID top, stage.metadata. Okay, so given metadata, we'll put it out in the report. Okay, and then I think well, let's see how that looks, but I think it's going to look a little crowded. It's also going to duplicate the metadata, but we'll get rid of that in a second. Okay, so we'll take the small file. All right, there's metadata, and it's written in a normal font, so a typical body font. All right, and let's take that out of the stage. Okay, so the test here, I'm saying this should no longer be in the output. And really, there's not really a reason to do the double space thing. Okay, so this will fail. Now, this might break other reports. Changing this may make that one pass, but break others. Yeah. What? No, let's see, run that again. Okay. I guess we were isolated on that. Right. Okay, so I think we've moved metadata out of the report results. Parsons Code report results. Okay. Now, okay, so the assumption is now that stage.output is the story. All right, we are going to change that. So output Parsons Code report. Give it a bunch of tunes. Okay. We sort the tunes, map them to report, and then join them. Okay, so the result of report is a string. All right. Let's get a list of strings back and get rid of that. Okay. The stage. Okay. I'm going to push that code up. All right. So here's results. Where's stage? Okay. So Parsons Code report. Report does this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to return an array of strings and put my own separators in. All right. So let's return an array of strings. I'm going to do this. Okay. Cannot convert string to array of strings. So I think if let's do this. I don't know if all right, so I'm saying I'm going to return an array of strings. Let's get everybody dealing with an array of strings. Okay, so who calls report? Well, compiler should tell us. Probably at least one bit of code and one, whoops. Now, there's no way. Thank you. Right. Output cannot be assigned this. There it goes. Okay. Report is an array of strings right now. So let's move. Whoops. Report. Let's move the separators. Trailing comma violation? I may drop that rule. I don't mind if they're there. Okay. Right now it's an array of strings. See, I want it to still be one string. Okay, so let's do joined. No, maybe I don't. Okay, let's get this thing dealing with it that way. So it's got an array of strings. Let's just have it do joined like that. Okay, I think there's probably a test that's broken too. Result equals report. Sub-0 for now. Report array of string. I thought I kept that joined. Okay, I believe that's what we had before. Joined 3 separator. Okay, good. All right. Now let's see if we can build and run. All right, and I want to turn that rule off. I don't require that. Trailing comma violation. Okay, it's not required. It's not mandatory. What are my options there? Trailing comma. Comma inheritance, I don't know. What if I take this rule out completely? Okay, let's go find out. Avoided or enforced? I don't want to do either. Literal should not have trailing commas. I mean, I definitely want to allow them. Should be avoided or enforced. Okay. I'm a little puzzled here. Right? If I made it, it's not a mandatory comma. I mean, it's definitely not mandatory. Okay. But is it allowed? Absolutely. Yeah, he just doesn't like that. Okay. Swiftlet rules. All right. Wish I could remember these headers. Opt-in, correctable, enabled, kind. Comma. I think that's comma spacing. It's not opt-in, so it's by default. Well, I may put it in and just live with it. I'm not seeing any other comma stuff. I know we have trailing comma somewhere. Trailing comma. Warning, It's not opt-in. All right, I'm going to put it back. True. I don't really think it's mandatory in my style, but like that's just weird. Okay. Test should be green. Okay, so now what I want to do is pull this over. I want to return the actual array not joined and make the caller join it if it wants it joined. Okay, so build will tell us who, which it's Parsons stage. Yeah, that's why we don't want it. All right. And there's probably a test that cares. All right, one failure. Multi-song report. Check reports. Expected. Okay, there's that tune sub-0. Okay, now I'm going to change expected. This may affect a bunch of them. Most of them it'll just be adding parentheses. Okay. Expected. I think the deal is the lines were not added. Okay, but let's see what we get. Potentially, yeah, there we go. Okay, cannot convert string. Let's make this be that. I don't know if that's legal syntax. Yeah. What's the complaint? Multi-line literals should have their surrounding brackets in a new line. I think that's an old complaint, maybe. I don't know. Trailing comma. Yeah, aren't you a pig? Now this one's the only one that's going to be a real problem, I think. He needs to be independent once. Right. Fine. Yeah. Okay. So run that again. Right. So this should be 3 different reports. I think maybe like this. I may have the lines off. Okay. The other ones were a single report, so it was fine that they were that way. This looks like it starts on the one line, ends on the line after that. So I think we're maybe okay. Could be off by a new line or something. Okay, great. All right, so we make the report return an array of strings rather than a single string. Okay, and now I'm just trying to do this in small bites. We're still legit. Okay, we're producing stage.output. What I would like to do, I would like to keep that result. I'd like to hold that too. And I don't know if we need to make it public like this, but let's call it report of type string equals this. Okay, starts out empty. And when you call consume, report equals this. And output equals report. Joined. Okay. And I think I can tolerate that on one line. All right, so I'm keeping output the same. Test should all be passing. I guess well, I'm not going to worry about them yet. This can go like that too. All right. Now I have a bunch of individual strings. Let's look at our view. Okay, so I've got the metadata up top. Here I just did the body, but now I'd like to do stage.report. So let's do for each. Can I do this? I'm gonna lie temporarily, but I think I can say for each stage dot report. Okay, I'm gonna say id dot self, which is the little bit of a lie. Now in here, let's do text sub $0. Okay. And we'll still want the monospaced. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to have two copies of things at this point. All right, so let's run. This is a view only, so we theoretically shouldn't affect tests. All right, so but no scaling. Parsons Code. Okay, something there. All right, they don't align to the left. Let's. How do I get those left aligned? Maybe this is enough. Not quite sure what did that. Well, there's our new report. 1, 3, 2, and there's our old one. The numbering is it's a consequence of the way we sort is based on the Parsons code. So it just looks a little weird to be 132, but all right. So I'm gonna try and force this to be left justified. Dot multi-line text alignment is dot left leading. All right, and I'm gonna put some padding. Let's do this where it counts. Oh. Well, that might work. What is going on? Okay, I'm gonna put it in an H stack. I don't think I have to do this for some. Item's kind of a weak name, but it's the breaks. Okay, multi-line text alignment leading padding. The padding should go in each text item for sure. The font is fine. This is probably not doing anything, is what I'm getting out of this. Oh, I have a preview, I think. Do I? No. Why? This one, I think, because it's so big, it has to be, and I think this is just centered. Oh, I can put padding spacer. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should be putting some padding around that too. Okay. Now that looks acceptable to me. Let's take out the output one. Okay. All right. Observed object. Right. Okay. So again, we'll just make sure it looks right. I will run tests again because I put them off once and paid for it. Okay, that's not bad. Actually, I kind of like it. Too many scroll bars, but we can probably find a way around that. Okay, and run tests. Pull from report items rather than output string. Okay. Oh, and why I was saying it was kind of a lie. Let me get back to where I was. What I said was each string could be its own identifier here. And that's sort of true because it's going to have a different title and different contents. If it were line by line, it would not be true. But all right, now Parsons stage. I don't believe output is used. Okay, but there are going to be some tests that are going to break because of that. They should be getting it from report. And I'm kind of doing it backwards to find the tests by changing the code, but that's the breaks. All right. And it's going to be that one that has, oh no, it's not. Okay. Computes metadata and output. Well, it doesn't. It computes the metadata and the report. Okay, and we're looking at stage.output, which is defined, but probably shouldn't be. Stage.report now should be report 0 should be that. Okay. Okay, and everybody else is all right? Okay, so don't write to report anymore for Parsons Code. Now my stages were a little more generic at some point, so I think we're inheriting output, but we don't need it. There's output. Let's, I don't know if we can tell who references it. Statistics. I'm going to take this out of here and put it in the stages that need it. Everybody's got title and message. I kind of buy that, but the output is up to them. And we'll see some other syncs that need it. Really. Parsons view. Or statistics stage. He should have it. Doesn't he write it to the output somewhere? Yeah. Why aren't you complaining about statistics stage? Ah, there we are. Okay. Let's put output in here. Statistics, and then statistics. Okay, this may be the only one left. Pipeline tests. Okay, they want to have output 2, that's fine. Okay. Parsons view. Wow. Stage dot report is empty. Okay. I don't know why that didn't show up earlier. Parsons view stage dot report. Okay. Okay, he's just waking up, I guess. There it goes. All right. Remove output from Parsons stage, add to other stages that need it. Okay. That feels like progress to me. Okay, let's close some of these. Parsons. Okay. Now, all right, so what I want to happen, I want the Parsons Code report to produce report items, not strings. Okay, so let's let's deal with that. Okay. This is all going to get so simplified. It's going to be ridiculous. All right. So I think we want to have a Parsons item. Let's create that. It's going to be a struct Parsons item. I think we want to make it identifiable because we're going to put them in a list. Okay, so public var ID is UUID equals UUID. Okay, and what else is going to go in there? Well, I think that's in Foundation. The UUID, okay, lets us put it in the list. I don't know. For now, I can put a string. If I put a string now, I'm gonna modify it. I'm pushing the string back. So this is going to become an array of tune items, force the UI to deal with it. I think that's a step. Okay. Trying to take small, tiny steps. All right. So let's give it public var contents is string. Okay. And map to report, those are strings. Let's do another map to Parsons item contents $0. Okay, so I'm taking those strings from the report, wrapping them in a Parsons item, and then that's what I'm going to return here. Okay, so I'm kind of taking a piece in the middle. I'm going to work over towards the view side and make it aware of Parsons items. And then I'll push it back into the contents and make these produce Parsons items and probably fix them as I go. All right, so now anybody who calls report is going to have a problem. Okay, Parsons, let's get the view first. Oh, the result first. All right, so this report, we don't need this anymore because report, oh, we need to do that though. Report is going to be Parsons item. Okay. Now the result for each requires string. Okay, cannot convert. Right. Let's do item.content. Okay. I think that will work. Oh. Cannot convert Parsons items. Expected typing be stage.report is an array of Parsons item. No, I don't see the problem. generic type C cannot be inferred. Stage.report. Let's do a rebuild. We're going to have test problems, but these basic classes should be okay, I think. Binding of subject. Report is Parsons items. That seems okay. Cannot convert value of type binding of subject. What is the problem? Report is an array of Parsons items. Item, it's contents, right? Is that all? Items dot contents. Oh, Parsons item conform to hashable. Okay, well that's worth saying. Parsons item. Well, I think it will generate it for me. Hashable. All right. Now there's going to be some complaints over on the testing side. Yeah. Okay. Report produces an array of things. Expected is array of Parsons item. If I create an item, it's going to have a different ID. So I'm going to have to map them on my way out. Okay, and then my assertion is going to have to look at, oh, come on. I don't want to say contents all the time. Well, this is going to change again. Okay. Parsons item of contents. Good. All right, now let's go find check reports. All right. So I can't expect them to be equals because the equals is going to I don't want to say it. The equals will take into account the ID as well as the string, and we only want to look at the string. So I'm going to map these. Okay, so map to $0 contents, and same thing here. Okay, that I think should be better. Oh no, cannot call value of non-function type array of Parsons items. Oh, dot map. Surrounding brackets in a new line. Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad to have a linter, but I think he's being a little excessively picky on some of this stuff. I mean, usually it's kind of true. All right, conflicting arguments. Assert equal, stage.report equal, report 0 dot contents to that. Okay. Where are you complaining? Okay, fine. Multi-line arguments should have their surrounding brackets in a new line. See, if I could turn that off for strings, I'd be a lot happier. But I don't think I can. Okay, so test passed. That's good. All right. Okay, so make report return Parsons item instead of string. Okay, so now I still have a string coming back, but I can now put what I want in item. And what I want is really there's a title and there's a Parsons code. The Parsons code is that start EDURURDDD thing. All right. And so if I can put those pieces in, I can start displaying them from the pieces and be okay. And then I can get my graph contents in a graph order, and that'll be good for the chart. All right. So let's go back to our report. Okay, so now we're taking the report and mapping the result string. I want to make this thing return a Parsons item. Okay, and if I do, then this map becomes redundant. Okay, so I could, well, the cheapest step is to do it this way, right? Just return Parsons item with contents being result string, right? Everybody should be happy. I guess, well, what do I know? Okay, everybody's happy. All right. Push Parsons item back into report. Okay, so the report, basically it's sorting the tunes and then generating the report. That's fine. All right, and then well, it's sorting them in a horrible way. It's calculating the code and then recalculating it in the report. That seems a little unfortunate. All right. I think we can flip the sorted in the end once we get it all together. All right. Well, title grid is, I think, a string, right? These are my grid. Okay. Let's go see what the title grid is. We got the title. Now this, okay, I mean, this code split every, I'm going to let the text wrapping happen in the other side. All right, so I think this is almost what we want for the title. Okay, so I'm going to say the report, let's just let title equal this, where this one is tune sub title. Okay, and then I'm going to add title to the Parsons code. All right, so I'm calculating the title line. Is maybe header? Okay. Okay, so header is that. Let's put that in the Parsons item. Okay. Right. Now, I want the report to put out the header. Okay, so the report, each item, well, let's write the header. I know there's a better way to do this. Item.header. It's, the whole thing's in a VStack. let's do that. Okay, so I put the header. I think that may make that redundant. Okay, so okay. Let's make it empty for the moment. Okay. I just want to get the build going, and then we'll put a test in. Okay, and probably some tests will complain. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's put the real header we want. I'm saying we want this. And this should not be in the header anymore. Okay. This one. I think I left out a comma. All right, and this one. All right, so I'm saying the report should not have it. Okay. This is good, I think. Oh. Vertical parameter alignment. We'll get all these twinkle twinkles down at once. Down here. Okay, so we got down some is still in the contents. Okay. And then let's check the headers. Result.map 0.header versus expected.map 0.header. Okay, that's going to make it even worse. But okay, so down sum, up sum is not equal to the stuff. So the headers are still in the thing. And I think with this new set of assertions, we'll find out that they're not in the headers. Right? Okay. Empty, empty, empty is not equal to 3 headers that we expected. Okay. So let's fix our report. Okay, so this should be header. And title grid should no longer be in there. So title grid is gone. Let's just make it code grid. We'll clean it up in a moment. Okay, so, oh no, something's wrong. Title grid is details. Let's see details. Is the tune and the title result split every, oh, it's the code. Okay, so I think we can just put the code. Let's take this out. We're not putting titles in the body anymore. Okay, so this will just be the code. All right, and down here, we got the header. Title grid is still details, but it's going to be the Parsons Code and title grid plus. Okay, I think that gets us there. All right, just see. Okay. Down where the action is here. All right, 1, 1, 1, 1 is not equal to 1 down some, 1 just see 1 up some. All right. Header is tune subtitle. I probably shouldn't have removed it from the body then. Let's check out this test. Okay. Huh. Capital T. Yep. I probably should have done copy paste there. All right, let's run this again. Oh, I got to take out that breakpoint. Continue. All right. Hopefully they're failures, but they're fewer failures. Check reports. The titles are right now. Okay, now let's see what's up with these. Oh, /n. All right, so somebody's still putting a /n in the body. Okay, so I'm guessing it's up here. Well, no. Tune subtitle does not. See details. Get a grid, line, split every code. Okay, well, this code string, I think maybe this might be off. Lines is 0. -1? I'm kind of guessing, but all right, some of these started working. Okay. Our big report ones did. Okay. All right, if no title exists, blank star is not equal to 1 dot star. Grid dot details. Okay, we're calling grid dot details. That no longer has the title. All right, so let's take out the title here. Okay. Parsons Code respects max width. Again, should not have the title. I think it's going to start star. Yeah. Okay. Title is no longer part of the report. Oh, we didn't look at this one. Parsons stage tests. Okay, stage report dot contents. Right, does not have the title anymore. Well, but the title does exist. So stage report dot title should be 1 dot in this case. I think might be 1 dot space. I didn't quite catch it. Oh man. One dot space. Well, that's what he was. I feel like we could do better, but okay. Pull out header from report. Okay. Now, let's see, we've been deleting this stuff. Just make sure we're reasonably sane still. Okay, I think our headers should be indented. Probably has no padding on it when everybody else does. Parsons result. Right. Okay. Now, oh, so lazy. A Parsons result needs a stage. A Parsons view, what does it need? It needs a stage. All right, let's make a preview for this thing. Should have done it before, really. Okay, so this is Parsons result view providers, preview provider, some view, Parsons result view with stage. Okay. Parsons result. Okay, sample title. Well, I could have wished for a better view. I don't know why it's not forced left. There's the scroll view. Yeah, I don't have a single view over them top. All right, let's see if I take this out. Okay, the good news is the metadata is left justified. Oh, wait, I don't even see it. No, it isn't left justified. Okay, undo that. I'm going to have to look. I think there's a way to do this without specifying these spacers all the time, but I'm not sure. All right, so where are we? Let's look at our Parsons code. All right, we have items. Coming back, they've got a header and contents. All right, next step is I want to get the contents. I want to get the Parsons code next. Okay, so let's see. We probably have time to do that. And I'm going to let the view wrap it. So code is a string as well. And that's all there is, right? Is the graph. There's the title, the code, and the graph. Okay. And then what's this? Parameter for code. Okay. Yes, we have to put something in. All right. So code is empty. Let's get everybody accommodating this thing, including our view. So in the view, we got the text, the header. Let's do another one of these. I'm getting them too far apart, but that's something we'll fix later. It's a view thing. All right, and then down here, header is that. Let's make code is star RDU UDDR. Okay. And build. Missing argument for code. Oh yeah, right here. Okay. Take a look at the preview. If you put it in, it should show. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And yeah, these spacing is too big. Everybody's getting 8 pixels top and bottom, so it's really quite a bit. All right. Anybody else? Sorry, for code. Okay. Well, let's put the right values in. So that should be this. Take out these spaces. We'll probably start with a failing test, I suspect. All right, and then, whoops. Yeah, that's okay. The code is that. The graph is something else. And no blank line there. I think. And we have another blank line we'll probably have to get rid of. All right, we should see some failing tests. Oh, and our check report ought to check the codes. Right, okay, so let's do this. Those should fail too now. Okay, so the code failed because it came back all blanks. All right, let's see if we can fix that. Parsons Code report. Code is a string coming in, so we can simplify quite a bit here. Code is Parsons Code. Okay. And that should fix part of those tests. Yeah, so the code ones now work. We're still messed up on the contents because we're still putting the code in the contents. So let's see if we can quickly pull that out. That's in details. Well, okay, that's details. Title grid. We no longer need title grid. Let's try code grid here. Hey, good to see you. You're catching me right at the end. Hopefully these tests pass. Oh, not all of them. But yeah, we're kind of out of time. What we've been doing is we're working on the Parsons Code view. Let's see. Will it let me run it? Let's see. So this, we're pulling out the pieces. This was originally, each one was just one big string, and then the whole report was one giant string. We split it up first into separate strings for each entry, and now we're splitting up within the entries to the title, the code, and the graph. And eventually, the goal for next time probably is we want to put in the nice graph. So I'm going to use the Swift charts instead of these ASCII characters, which, I mean, they have some level of charm, but it'll look nicer with a fancy graph. Okay. We just added MIDI sound too. So we're going to get a graph like this instead, a properly drawn chart. But I think with this, where's that failing test? Right. Failed. We pulled out the code here, so that should go. And we should assert separately on it. Oops. I think it was supposed to be star. Let's run the test. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that will definitely do it. But 20 years from now, all that worry will all be over, right? What I remember about that with my first kid was waking up totally disoriented about, I don't know, a couple months, 3 months, whatever, after the baby was born. Disoriented because I'd slept all night and not had to wake up or whatever. I must have been later than that, but at some point where the child slept through the night and I woke up all panicked because like, what's going on? But yeah, it that part gets over. All right. So I think we're still seeing a report fail. Well, how about telling me what the problem is? What was that? Preparing? Service? Okay, I'll have to investigate that further. I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, like I said, we're out of time, so couldn't establish connection. Yeah, okay. I'm due for a reboot anyway, so I guess I'll manage that. But thanks for joining. Good luck, and enjoy your baby. All right. We'll see you another time. Next time is tomorrow, Wednesday, 1 to 3:30 Eastern or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. And thanks for joining today, and catch you later. Take care. Bye-bye.